Guys, we're filming this episode on Halloween, and it's made me just come to this thought. I'm a little bit upset that there is an age where you have to stop trick-or-treating. It just sucks. You know, I think being a kid, anyway, I better get back to the episode, but if anyone has an answer for how to overcome that, I don't know if you have to dress up with like a lot of face paint or you have to lower the tone of your voice. I don't know what you have to do to keep trick-or-treating, but it does suck that stops. But let's get straight into this episode. We have a spooky one for you. Today we're talking about the current climate we're in with fashion, algorithms of social media. It's a bit of a mess. Now, if you look at TikTok, it's seriously changed Instagram Reels. Like that's the only thing that's being pushed right now on Instagram. And you look at YouTube, the shorts are just going bananas. Facebook as well. Everyone's just copying TikTok. Now, I got a little thought experiment to do with you guys. If you think back over the last 6 months of your favorite YouTube videos you've watched, I want you to think about how many of those you actually searched yourself compared to how many of those you just scrolled on your algorithm and let that pique your interest. Like, ooh, you know, I'll listen to that little podcast clip. Because when I did this myself, I realized I just click on what the algorithm shows me now. I don't really search that often. Maybe one in every 10 videos, I'll search out something for myself, which was pretty scary and showed, at least to me and to all my friends that I've done this with, we are certainly moving towards being fed by the algorithm opposed to our own creative thinking. Now, how I think brands need to navigate this, it's certainly a shift in the world, is one, realize the opportunity. If you're a small brand, it's actually a really positive thing. Brands have never grown faster. You know, I think having content that's now pushed to the, you know, anyone in the world and no longer just to a small following has completely changed everything. You know, we've never seen brands grow as quick as they have in 2023. So there's definitely an opportunity there. Recently on our Instagram, I put up a story about the madness of soccer jerseys. And yes, I called them soccer jerseys, and all the English people in our DMs absolutely berated me. I know they're called football jerseys, but here in Australia we call them soccer. Anyway, it's a bit of a side tangent. But I've pointed out there's a bit of a problem in the world because we have brands like Supreme, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, the list goes on, Bape. Any brand you can pretty much think of has literally done a soccer jersey at this point or a football jersey. And I think it all comes back down to this algorithm. We're all being fed the same thing, and brands now have huge amounts of data and just want to stay in one sample set. Now, if I'm a young brand right now, it's somewhat negative and somewhat positive. I think you look at, there's never been a point in history where fashion houses like Gucci and Louis Vuitton are doing the same thing as the local brand at the local market. You know what I mean? Like, how are they both designing the same garments at the same time? That's never happened. So there is actually kind of a level playing field. And if we go back to the way these short platforms work, like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, they actually value the content opposed to the following or anything else. It's all about the value of the content. So I would make a point that brands are now more leveled out than ever. To conclude this, guys, I think for small businesses, this is the opportunity that's never existed before. Don't want to throw cliches around, but this is truly an incredible time to start a brand. So I have to say that. But with that said, I do sadly think creativity is being squashed through this process. To me, the definition of creativity is what comes from you inside through your experiences. It's not to do with anyone else. It's purely about you. So if we're always watching what everyone else is doing and conforming to that, that goes against the heart of what I think creativity is. Just keep one eye on what everyone else is doing and keep your other eye on your own creativity. And I think that's the balance you got to strike. Thanks for listening, guys.